Big cat, how you came to be is no longer a mystery. Black sheep is your birthright. It's code for the one who brings the light. I bet if there's a crack, you don't fall back. Remember who you are. No rest for the wicked with their skullduggery. The use spell workers' projection to send out envy, hate, and jealousy. You are the prototype, your ancestors champion. They shield you and send back those spiritual attacks. You are divinely protected from the dummy bats. Yeah. Big cat, the most high, got your back. He sits high and looks low, so don't get smoked or smoke yourself. Big cat moving silence. Only time you speak is to say checkmate.
Power on. Audio mode is connected.
That's right. The audio mode is now connected. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or massages. Come in. Come on. I've got intel. Recon is afoot. Just giving it a hot minute for the big cats to assemble. Come in, big cat. Come on. I've got intel. Haven't seen me live in a while. Yes. Come in. Come on. You know I travel with a strong beeline. Yes, big cat. Let's kick off at a hot trot. The planetary energies are. The skullduggerous moon is transiting through the sign of Taurus. Your concerns will be with family and the people you keep close. Matters at home are of more interest to you at this moment in time. You also have the sun in Taurus, sextile in Neptune in Pisces. Your intuition will be litty. Pay attention, big cat. Pay attention. Right, because discernment is right up there with your intuition. Connect to your spiritual self and your subconscious mind. You also have Mercury direct in Taurus, sextile in Saturn in Pisces. Now that you're in post-shadow of Mercury retrograde, you can make better decisions in business and with your finances, right? Using logic to keep your head clear and your focus steady, big cat. Why? Because your family members, big cat. I know, if I had pearls, I'd be squeezing them with you, darling dears. Your family members are your biggest haters. Yeah, them hate you. They don't like you. They don't like your eyelashes. They don't like the way your nostrils flutter as you take in the air that's free for everyone at this moment in time. But trust and believe, within the next 5 years, they will be selling air. Listen, if you're going to invest in crypto, look for air, darling dear. I know it sounds squiffy. But, all right. Let's press on, right? Because I'll be listening. I got so much to talk about, big cat. These same family members, right? These sons or daughters of Pennywise the Clown. They wished poverty, illness, and Dodo dead on you, darling dear. And Divine has decided to what? Send them a memo in the form of a kick in their spiritual nutsack as they get what's shown your true spiritual ranking. You know exactly, or you knew exactly whom to cut off. Yes, baby, the perpetrators of wickedness. Your success will be hitting them different, darling dear. Yes, hitting them differently. Yeah, they spoke death into your situations in life. They see you focused and on your goals, darling dears, on your grind, right? Single-minded, cutting through the unknown, darling dears. Whilst they practice lacking their lives, so busy focusing on your green grass and your shapely back, law 16 of the 48 laws of power, right? They're paying no attention to their astroturf that they've got on layaway. Listen, we do a quick what? Matthew 10:14. Dust off our sandals and head out. You see, big cat, the way my shiznai is set up, baby. Listen, before you know, where's that cat? Listen, you won't even see my dust or my smoke, because I'll be gone. Gone. I told you. Big cat be a rolling stone. Yeah, you've got to be. You can't stay amongst the pernicious. They are gambling on you having cognitive dissonance, darling dears. And that maybe you'll come back so they can sock it to you again without the Vaseline. They want to draw you back in, right? So they can be the maid, giving you full-on shade. Yes, baby, the maid, the raccoon-eyed maid. Many a sleepless night is because of what you've got going on, darling dear. Trust and believe. Many a conversation is being had in your absence. And not only that, they're adding to it. And they've got all of your permissions to add what they like to it, where you've got no time to tongue wrestle with the feeble-minded. Nah, blood, you don't have the throat chakra for that shiznai. Let them stay mad. I decree it. Let them stay mad and jelly, darling dear. But remember, they must stay gone. They can't spin the block on you. Spin the block on you, my edges. It's going to make me have to rip off my glasses again and pinch the bridge of my nose, all whilst taking in my mocha, because I ain't getting smoke, blood. I just need a quiet moment to just get over this. Over it now. Now we're going to read on them, darling dear. Why? Because no one's going to check me, boo. Fist bump. Let's dive in, darling dears. Let's dive in and see what go on. We're going to get the rune stones. So, even my watch has gone red, reminding me to keep it moving, darling dear. Listen, big cat, you don't stay in the same spot. You can't be the same person. You can see the white feather. Listen. Everything is for a reason. If they come into the line of the picture, or if I go to pick up the runestones and they fall out, it's because your ancestral team are present, darling dear, and correct. You're being guided, big cat. And because we're besties, right, I'm going to give you the usher. Oh, you've got two of them. Haven't been live in a while, right? When you cast runes, you read them from right to left. Your first runestone, darling dear, is Lagaz. This is the hangman. In the upright, I might add. It's represented by Neptune, darling dear. Neptune, which is water energy, darling dear. Neptune is the 12th house. The 12th house is what? Of hidden enemies. It's also the house of death and rebirth. It's about your spirituality, darling dears. The 12th house also speaks about past life, previous lives, or the life you used to have around them. It is also telling you that these same family members, they are facing prison. They are facing, yes, they're going to be incarcerated with the prisoners, just like R. Kelly, darling dear. They are also, leaning big cat, facing hospital visits, many hospital visits, right? They've got something going wrong in their whole physical situation, darling dear. And some of them, they'll be having Shall We Gather by the River being sung on their behalf. Unfortunately, you can't go to that gathering. Why? Because your biggest haters will be there, hating on you. They won't be focused on who's in the coffin. They'll be sending them daggers at you, mate. Listen, you don't want that kind of heat or that kind of smoke. Why? You have a lexicon of words, darling dears. The memory of an elephant, right? And not only that, you ain't got that amount of time. If you want to say goodbye to someone, do it by yourself, darling dear. But anyway, I digress because no one's checking me, boo. The hangman in the upright speaks about the prophecy you spoke into your life, darling dears. Yes. You said things like, on everything I love. And I'll be God. Before I come back to you. All of this and that, big cat. It also speaks about, the hangman speaks about no contact, darling dear. This is what's getting them what? At hockey sticks at dawn, right? The thought The thought that you managed to what get away and get great, darling dear, is creeping up on them like a cheap lace thong. That's their business, blood. And again, the hangman speaks about issues with their health. They're being brought to pause, darling dear. Brought to pause. It also speaks about your psychic abilities, darling dears, as well as your spiritual development. This is what was key for you to what? Extracting yourself in a mission impossible kind of a way from circumstances and situations that you were sent, darling dear. You were sent to that paradigm for you to what? Break up this generational dysfunction, darling dear. But what did they do? They chose you to be the what? Butt of everything, darling dear. Until you said, I didn't fancy being the butt anymore. And you headed out. Tinky Winky styley. Love it. I don't hate it. Oh, did I tell you? Lagaz is represented by the letter L. The number 99 and 15. The unknown is where you've got to be, darling dears. For you to gain that new perspective on yourself and what you can co-create for yourself. Out of what? The evil eye of Sauron, darling dear. These mouth-breathing haters that dare to call themselves family members. Family members? Listen. Oh, God has entered the building. This is the hierophant, darling dear. Uraz. Represented by the letter U and V, the number 20, 21, 22, and 23. God has put pause to what's going on, darling dear. A lot of negative energy has been sent at you of late. 1111 on the counter, highly spiritual number, darling dears. They've been sending a lot of energy your way. Why? Because you're doing great. Better than great. Fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely, darling dears. Whatever you're doing it with panache. And what knowledge? Because when you got out of their clutches or chose you and your own progenies, darling dears, you became what? A keyboard gangster. And you got it in the cranium. And that means if you got it in the cranium, you have it in your pocketbook, your handbag, your wallet, or your purse. Yes. All of this and that. When Father God says yes, who can say no? They're not beefing with you, darling dear. They're beefing with God because you are doing exactly what you're meant to do. When you came back to this Malkuth, darling dear, you tried in a very trying situation until you chose yourself, darling dear. This is why they are big mad. Big mad. When God tells you to what? Stand down. You stood down, hangman. You took pause, darling dears. You took the time to know thyself. You got a hold of your birth natal chart, found your north node. You know who you are, darling dears. Not many people can say that. You've taken the time. Hangman also speaks about having a period by yourself, darling dear. You was alone so that you could hear the Most High speak to you. Knowing thyself is the key to the universe. Both Tesla and Socrates told us this, and we listened. Love it. Don't hate it. Right. Let's get the witch's oracle wisdom to see what's going on with these bottom feeders, right, that dare to call themselves family members. They gave you misophonia and pisanthropia. Yeah, they did. But they also made you obstreperous, darling dear. Obstreperous. Noisy and extremely difficult to handle. That's why they have to talk about you in thruples and quadruples outside of your hemisphere, darling dears, adding smoke to the fire they built. Listen, whatever they try to send your way, I told you, they sent energies of lack, poverty, darling dear, illness, and dodo dead your way. Well, guess what? It had to go somewhere, darling dears. It had to go somewhere. When you create all of that negative energy and you constantly focusing it on other people who's minding their own business, darling dears, what do you think's gonna happen? This also speaks about what? Someone even wished the loss of a pregnancy or a child on you, darling dear. This is how far they was prepared to go. They did all of this while God was like sitting high and looking low and going, oh, is that so? Let me put them on pause. Hey! Nothing like being put on pause by the Most High, darling dear. Nothing quite like it. Base of the deck. Listen. They're not happy, mate. This is fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, on its face, darling dears. On its face. This is someone who is someone who is emotionally cold. It also speaks about emotional lack. They're not getting any form of nurturing. They are not nurturing to others, darling dears. If they've got progeny, they have to hit that ground running, darling dears. Where's all my stands gone? Listen. Hold on a minute, I'm just getting my stand. Because Karma was in here last night. She was so upset oh my God, big cat. She was so upset last night. My baby was so upset, right? I was in my bedroom, which is across from my office, minding my own business. You know how I really know how to go into deep cover and mind my own business. And I heard this crying. The crying sounded like, what's her name? Is it Kathy from Wuthering Heights? Proper crying, right? I expected to come. She came up into my office and was sitting at my desk and crying, right? I expected to open the door and see her sitting in a long frilly nightgown, darling dear, with her 32-inch braids trailing down her back. But she's a 21st century, Generation X kind of a girl, right? Generation Z, excusez-moi. She was sitting in jogging bottoms and a tank top, crying at my desk. And I was like, what's the matter, darling dear? Why didn't you come into my room? She goes, I didn't know you heard me. How could I not hear that shit? I'm a cat. I hear everything, blood. So I say, what's the matter? And I came up to her and I was like, what's the matter? And she said that she's so upset because every time she texts her father or calls him, he doesn't pick up the phone and he doesn't answer, and she feels really upset. And then I was like, darling, there's nothing that I can do about it. I can't make him do anything. You can't make him do anything. I said, stop calling and texting. And she said, Mommy. I said, what? She said, Mommy, can I swear? My children don't swear in front of me, darling dear. I don't allow that shit. But she was crying, darling dears, jogging bottoms and tank top, and at my desk, crying really loud to get my attention without getting my attention. So she goes, Mommy, can I swear? Can I swear? And I said, okay. Then she said, fuck him! I felt that in my ovaries. I said, don't swear anymore, darling dear. And I rubbed her back and I took her by her hand and we went downstairs and I made her some hot chocolate and toast, right? And we talked. Girl talk. We had a bit of a bonding session, but the way she said, fuck him! I said, you know what? I'm not with that children swearing. I didn't like it, but I understood her pain. You understand? But the way it came out, darling dear, it was so vicious. After I made her go to her bed, after we had the talk and the hot chocolate, darling dear, I came in here with my California white sage. I had to come and take all of that fucking off my cards, off my room stuff. Listen! A narcissist, right, will abandon your progeny when they lose control of you, when they can't do you a damn thing, right? And you are excelling, right? They will do it to you, they'll sock it to your progeny. But like I said, it's always the youngest ones, darling dears, that want to attempt to swear, maybe even smoke. She better not try and smoke in front of me, mate. She'll get an iron lung, right? Listen. Just thinking about the fuck him is making me feel twisted in my cranium, big cat. But it is what it is. Imagine that. He named her Karma Amor. The results of your action is love. Imagine that. But anyway, I saw it go. Like she said. Let's carry on with the read, darling dears. Base of the deck, everything's in the reverse, darling dears. The ancestors have abandoned these family members, the same ones that wish death on you, right? In the upright, this is somebody at the graveyard, darling dear. As everybody sings, shall we gather by the river, in a falsetto, in the reverse, right? It says, those who believe in the Most High shall never die, darling dears. You get to live and live out loud in their face, darling dear. Why? They are Sputnik, and all they do is watch, darling dear. Open mouth breathing, waiting for you to fail, yet their health is failing. Their money is funny, right? Their progenies are delinquents, right? Their partners are beaters and cheaters, darling dears. Yes. All of this and that that they wished on you, big cat, when all you did was try to give them unconditional love until you realize you had to rein that bitch in, mate. Rein it in, right? And give it unto yourself. Give it unto yourself. I love me some me. Today I'm loving on this clavicle bone the most. It's getting featured, darling dear. Featured. There's so much of me to love, darling dear. I take it in stages. Today it's my left clavicle bone. How about you, big cat? As I sip my mocha, cause I ain't getting smoked. Listen. I did say to her before she went to school this morning, didn't swear around me again. Didn't ask me if you could swear, right? My son asked me that, I think when he was about 15, because he's got a lot of Caucasian friends because of where we live. There's mainly Caucasian people, darling dear. And he says that all of them swear at their parents and all of that. And he asked me if he could swear. I said, swear at who? First of all, I told him to sit down because by the time he was 15, he was 6 foot tall. I said, I had to tell him to sit down. I told him, you can't swear around me, blood. No, I don't accept it. Don't. No, you let the progeny swear when they feel like it. Next thing you know, they're calling it all kinds of sweeties because we don't use that with me. If you've been rocking with me for a while, you know what the word sweetie really means. They will call you all kinds of sweeties. No. Oh, no. Listen. Anyhow, let's get a domino involved. Like I said, Father God entered the arena, darling dear, and put everybody on pause so they can think about what they've done to you, darling dear, or try to do to you. Oh, good golly and gosh. You have 14, darling dear. The 1 and 4 is what? The temperance energy. You are an earth angel. It also speaks about being spiritually protected. It also speaks about your patience, darling dear. The patience that it took for you to what? Understand that you are the center of your universe and you can co-create whatever life you want, darling dear. It took patience. It took hard work. It was a long journey, darling dears. And the end is dodo dead. It's about the destination. It's not about the destination. It's the journey, darling dears. What you learned when you cut off those disingenuous family members, the same ones that like to laugh in your face and tell you all of everyone's business. Well, guess who was next on the menu? Not you anymore, big cat, because they don't know what to say. They don't know what's going on in your hemisphere. They have to use guessation, darling dear. Guessation and gassation, because all they do is talk out their crack. The numerology of the 1 and the 4 is a 5, darling dear. The 5 speaks about the constructive freedom that you've co-created for yourself. It also speaks about you being versatile. For others, it speaks about you traveling, darling dear. Maybe you travel to a different part of the globe, or you've got travel plans, which are going to come to fruition, darling dears. I love it. I don't hate it. The number 5, darling dear, it speaks about the freedom you created for yourself from situations that was fraught and filled with conflict and instability. You was the change. You was meant to be the change. You was meant to be the one that holds the whip, darling dear. For he or she who holds the whip run things. They didn't expect you to walk away and never come back. And they didn't do you the service. They didn't do the service of what? Holding their breath, waiting for you to come back. They didn't do it. They're still breathing, darling dear. They are. They live. Sounds like a horror story. Yeah. Anyway, the number 5. Mars is the 5th planet. So Mars rules the number 9. So number 9 is important to you, darling dear. Mars also rules Tuesdays, so Tuesday is also important. Mars takes 1.5 months to transit through each house, so something important is about to what happen in your hemisphere within the next 1.5 months. That's 6 weeks, darling dears. You have the 6 and the 4, darling dears. The 6 is, again, lovers, Gemini energy, making right choices. It speaks about the contracts of it all, darling dear. It also speaks about trust. You had a trust fall to get you to the where you are right now. You took a leap of faith. For others, it speaks about what? a true divinely guided partner will be in your hemisphere in 6 weeks' time, darling dear. I've been telling many of you that the summer months is when it's going to be rocking off for you, darling dear. But like I said, I don't care who it is. Everybody gets investigated. Listen. We do the Boosie Badass round here at Don't Get Smoke Central. As I was saying, the 6 and the 4. The 4 is the Emperor energy, Mars and Aries energy claiming dominion. The 4, and it's come out twice, and this speaks about what? A partner, as well as the blank. It speaks about a new partner, full energy, a new beginning and a new partner. So partner is screaming at us, darling dears. For some of you, it will be romantical. For others, it will be business. And again, for others, it will be platonic in the form of what? A true friend. How many of us have them? Well, you got me, but outside of me, how many other friends you got, bestie? Hey? As I was saying, love it. I don't hate it. The energy of the 4 and the 6 speaks about what? A marriage, darling dear. A marriage with children. Yes, it does, darling dear. So it will either be a blended family. Yes, if you've got progeny, they've got progeny, or they may not have progeny and take on your progeny as their own, or vice versa, darling dears. But it speaks about a marriage being afoot, darling dear. It's the energy of the 10. The 10 speaks about what? The ending of a cycle, right? Something has completed in order for renewal to come into your life. The energy of the 10 is rules the sun as well as the wheel of fortune, darling dear. For the transformation you created in your life when you let go of these skullduggerous family members. You also have the 4 and the blank again, Mars and Aries energy, as well as air and Uranus energy. And we know Uranus is about what? The sudden change. It speaks about the liberation you achieved when you was awakened to the foulation of the situation, darling dears. Realize that it was a thankless, unfathomable task trying to change their minds on whom you were. You would never be the cat you are today, exactly where you are today, if you just stayed around these family members. They would have taken success from anyone but you, big cat. They would have critiqued it. They would have ignored you. They would have done everything, laughed at you behind your back as they what? Gave away your inside peccadillos. This is why you had to head out into the unknown. Better to be on your own and in the company of the Most High than to be among the skullduggerous that want you brown bread so they can sing Amazing Grace in a falsetto. I told you already, big cat, many times. The 4 blank speaks about what? Money problems, mate. While your money's on the up and up, somebody's money's on the down. I told you, all of the lack they wanted in your life, darling dear, they're living with it. Trust and believe. Listen, the bill collector's at the door. And the biggest bill collector of them all is the Most High. They're beefing with God on top of everything else. And here you are. You didn't die, darling dears. You weren't broken. You came through the 2020, darling dear, of it all. Understanding the situation was sent to what? Teach you a lesson that had to be learned. You can do bad all by yourself. Come through, Senshia. Bad alone. Posh. Clap. Yes. Can't even click my fingers because of the carpal tunnels on my syndromes. Now I'm going to have to mouth it. Click, click. Let's get a deck and dive in. See what's going on with these skullduggerous bottom feeders from the crevice of the devil's balls. Get a deck that I haven't used in a while. 5 of Pentacles in the reverse, darling dears. It speaks about what? Coming out of the cold. They want to come out of the cold. Some of them want to come through and borrow some money, darling dears, possibly for a health situation or even a home situation. I feel displacement is on the horizon for some. Yeah, they're going to be displaced, right? They're a bunch of nomads and they want somewhere to stay. Not at my house, because I didn't want to go to prison. I don't. I can't be amongst R. Kelly and his mates, the prisoners. Can't just come stay around my house. Listen, They come with what? Nothing but drama and more trauma. 8 of Cups on its face, darling dears. Right? This is people or a person that has no true emotion for you. Cups in reverse also speaks about possibly even an ex turning up at your domicile, drunk and in a funk, trying to listen. They're gonna come and try and tell you the real truth, and they're drunk, darling dears. Only alcohol will loosen their tongue and bring them to your door. Listen, you better get your security camera, right? Make sure that it's got a solar panel so it doesn't run out. Make sure that you know where your nay is, right? And if need be, don't even go to the door. Get shiz from an upper window. They're drunk. They won't know what happened to them. They won't. They'll wake up in the hospital somewhere under the name of John or Jane Doe. Yeah, that's their business. They're coming with the trauma and the drama. They've got attachments, spiritual attachments. When you carry a low vibe and wish all that wickedness on other people, you open up your aura for demonic attachment, darling dear. Negative attachments. And they are fraught and filled with it, darling dears. They got the drama and the trauma. And they've been watching you all this time. I told you they've been IFing all what you've got going on. And they're a page. Pwah! Yeah. They've been curious and inquisitive about what you've got going on. Yes. Right next to that, they wanted all of this trauma and drama to be on your life. I told you. They wished it into your existence, darling dears. They did all of that while God was sitting high and looking low, darling dears, going, Lying and spying, darling dear. When you look at the cards, look to see where the eyes are. This is present energy. They still wish bad for you, darling dears. They still want bad things to happen to you, right? Oh, High Priestess. They even paid someone for some spell work. They even got tarot readings, and whomsoever they went to get the readings on you, darling dear. That what's that word? That stigma is on the reader as well. So the bad luck, the bad vibes, the bad credit, the reader's getting it as well. This reader told them lies as well. They told them that you was going to be going through all of these things. This person didn't know what they was talking about. Listen, if they've got a car, it's a piece of shit, or they're jealous of the Flintstones, darling dears. The Chariot speaks about someone that is wanting to travel towards you, darling dears. This is someone lacking in spiritual enlightenment, and they're not resourceful. They haven't had very many victories of late, darling dear, right? World card, because they feel that they've had no closure to the situation. Look at that, 3 major arcana come out together. Clarify this trauma and drama that they're rolling with, please. Oh, allow them, right? Don't let them into your house. They've got no money, they've got bad luck, and they've got bad health. In some cases, they're looking for a nurse with a purse. Oh, Wheel of Fortune to confirm it, darling dears. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune also speaks about a foreign person or foreign land. They may not be the next, you could be the same, I don't know. You're not the same nationality. Even if you are the same skin tone, you're not the same nationality. They're from a different place from you. Or they never grew up in the same area as you, darling dears. They was whelped amongst wolves, darling dear, in the crevice of the devil's balls. Yeah. And then they dared to come into your hemisphere. They dared. They had the flipping cheek of sharing the same womb as you and call themselves brother or sister. Jesus. Yeah. What's this that fell all the way on the floor? Let's see. Yeah. What did I say? They're pinching pennies where they are. Their health, darling dear. Their health flashes in and out, right? They come to tell you what? A minimization of the truth of what's really happened in their life. Because they see you as the Wheel of Fortune, darling dear. They see you having good luck. They see that everything you touch turns to gold, right? How do they see that? Because they never stop watching you, blood. Sputnik and the Hillbilly Investigations. They never stop watching you. They can't. They're a captive audience. All the time wishing bad on you. Clarify the Page of Swords. Look, what did I just tell you? We just spoke about the Temperance, and here it is in the reverse. No spiritual protection, darling dear. These people are impatient. They don't know how to manage their time, their money. Everything's out of whack with them. Sagittarius energy on its face, darling dears, right? They have no spiritual understanding or enlightenment, darling dear. Their philosophy on life is bull swanky, darling dears, to lie, cheat, and steal. A plunderer and a pillager and a looter, darling dears. That's what they are, base of the deck. And they're still lying about you. This is a disingenuous cup from the Knight of Cups on its face. This is a gossiper, darling dears. Someone who lives for gossip and all of the confusion that goes around it. But they've been stopped in their tracks. I told you their health is not like what it used to be. What did I just say? No 1111 fade here. They're living in a circumstantial situation. If they're living in a family home, right, they've got a partner, the children are delinquents, they fight with each other. The progeny fight them, possibly even fist fights. One's is about physical. Their partner is a cheater. They understood the assignment and had to get what? Was it a yearly pass to the STD clinic? Their partner is a flipping cheating cheatara. The progeny fight them, right? They've got no true friends, right? And as they gossip about you, they're being gossiped about. Nobody's working together in their domicile. I told you. It's Guantanamo Bay. They've got anxieties, darling dears. Only anxieties, right? And yet all they do is focus on you and what you've got going on. They can't get over you, big cat. They can't. Bitter, twisted, and jealous. Empress on its face. I told you the progeny fight them. They're not nurturing to their progeny the way they should be. They're too focused on what you've got going on. Their name is Hyacinth or Horatio Bucket. Not Bouquet, Bucket. Clarify this tarot reader that they went to. Tell us some more about the reader that they went to. Look, they made them pay a king's ransom. This is a little bit of money. They had to pay a lot of money for this situation, right? Pentacles. The tarot reader's health is being affected, darling dear. The tarot reader's business is being affected. Why? Because they spoke untruths on an anointed soul. I told you, the divine is hitting them all up in the spiritual nutsack with a full-on kicking, mate, on whom you are, what your ranking is. They should never have gone to that reader. The reader that told them lies, big lies about you. How can you make up fallacies about an anointed child of the Most High? No success, no victory there, darling dear. And yet, they feel as though they've got no closure with you, darling dear. They still want to hash it out. What's the matter with this basura? You, big cat, will never cast your pearls before swines again. Didn't Jesus cast all of the demons into pigs, right? And then they dare to come back onto this Mount Poof as your brother or your sister or your partner? Listen. Original bad news bears, darling dears. They're not going for any form of good news. If they're hoping to travel somewhere, darling dears, or travel towards you, they're being blocked by spirit. One's is about spirit, darling dears. Every time they have the thought to come near you, something comes up that blocks their journey, darling dears. Yep. Clarify the chariot. No victory. No happiness, right? No success. King of Cups. This is about mastering the emotions. Yes, they didn't want you to be victorious and to keep on winning. They never knew that you would master your emotions around them, King of Cups, darling dear. And think clearly about them. Think that all they want to do is fight, darling dear, right? Let them stay focused on you as you focus on planting your seeds of righteousness, darling dears. Planting your seeds of abundance, taking care of your health. Leaning on thy rod and thy staff because they protect thee. Remember, I told you that, big cat. You had faith the size of a mustard seed. Faith is what? Feeling all in the heart. Where do you think unconditional love comes from? You heard the bell. Confirmation, darling dear. World card on its face. They ain't got no closure with you, darling dear, but you've made a choice. As they made the choice to be as bad as they could be in your presence, they chose to be as wicked as that, darling dear. Split the deck, and tower moment after tower moment is on the mate. On them, like white on rice. They need to stop thinking about you, this son or daughter of Pennywise the Clown. All they do is focus on what you've got going on. They're rehashing, they're telling lies. They will come to you with more trauma and drama, right? Trauma and drama. I can't even say it now. Drama and trauma. Yeah, they're going to be coming with their twisted words, darling dears. Why? Because you pea glitter, shit cupcakes, and fart rainbows. They don't like the fact that you went on and you broke the mold, darling dears. You went into the unknown. You went out there like a full-on soldier of the light. Remember, I told you that. Never you doubt it, darling dear. You left disloyalty where it was meant to be left, at the starting post. Right? You know the post that has the sign that says you can't F off past this point? You left them there. And what did they do? They F'd off past that point. Then you did. You left them. Look. Stressed out, mate. Depressed, darling dear. Can't sleep at night. Why? Your ancestors like to roam at night, darling. They wake them up at 3 a.m. Right? They've got a captive audience as they've shown your accolades, the fact that you're happy, the fact that they can't communicate with you. You don't even speak the same language, not since you understood the assignment and realized that you are prototype of your lineage. You are ibex, right through and through. If there's a crack, you don't fall back. No, you don't speak to this weird man or this weird girl. No. They wanted you at rigor mortis. That's the stiffness of death, darling dear. You're a happiness expert. Raised your vibration, darling dear. This speaks about marriages, vacations. You've put the past behind you like a ponytail because you realize that happiness is an inside job. You will never get that happiness, right, around them. They will bleed your energy and you'll have to take to your bed again, darling dear, wondering what's wrong with you when everything was right with you, darling dear. There was something wrong with them. They was always jealous of you, even when you believed you had nothing. When you believed you had nothing, you had everything. All of that untapped potential. Never you underestimate your gangster, big cat. Never. You are more than a conqueror. You are chosen. Why do you think divine is putting them on pause? Prison, hospital, right? And the graveyard. And don't let me talk about their finances. God sits high and looks low. So never you underestimate the power of walking alone, big cat. You had to walk alone so you could hear God. So you could understand whom you are. So that you could tap into your untapped in potentials. You can have any future you want, big cat. But you had to remove yourself from these skullduggerous, scandalous family members. Family members? Listen, you're going to have me talking in my baritone. They're outrageous. But everything they wish for you is being visited on them. Remember, I told you that. I always heard that saying, if you can't say something nice, say nothing at all. But they choose to add, dig up old bones. And whom are they telling it to? Other simpletons and feeble-minded. Other people that will never get the chance to sit at your tableau. So whomsoever believes anything that they've got to say, darling dears, I hope that spirit taps you on the shoulder so you can cut off them blood clot as well. Yeah, I said it, mate. They come with nothing but what? Where's my shiz naive? Point A and point B. And yes, it's tatty. It's tatty because we use it often. I'm going to teach you how to curse them out in Jamaican. Yeah. The same way that Spice cursed out Erica Minna, told her to what? Go for a gynecologist, told her she had glaphamoma, lymphoma, we don't even know her. Spice called Erica Minna big pussy gal. Listen. Listen. No one can cuss you out like a Jamaican or a Caribbean person, because I'm telling you, they know how to double tap on them words. Yeah, you're not heartbroken over the betrayal. Leave them on the knife's edge. Let them talk what they got to say, darling dears. Let them talk, because God is listening. God is listening. Let them talk. Continue. Don't stop. They want to continue to be a tampon string in your life, darling dear. That's all. They don't want to be your friend. They're not going to come back to check in to see if you're doing okay, if your progeny, if you have them, are okay. They just want to have access to your psychological password. Never you forget that. And never you forget everything they said and did to you. They did it with a conscious mind. They knew exactly what they was doing, because they recognized your untapped potentials, and they didn't see that glow within them, darling dear. Oh well. They will always be liars, darling dears. Psalms 55:23. Liars are going down, Bobby Brown. Trust and believe. They was dumb as a crumb. They didn't realize that you rolled with 6 G's. God, growth, goals, gifts, greatness, and gratitude. Every day you wake up, big cat, you kick your way out of the duvet. After you've said good morning to Father, Godmother, Isis. Kick your way out of the duvet. You have another day to sock it to them. We saw the Page of Swords. They are a captive audience. Remember, I told you that. Right. I'm so glad I didn't have to rip off my glasses again and pinch the bridge of my nose. Let me sip my mocha. I've got to lubricate my larynx with my mocha because I ain't getting smoke blood. So, listen, if you haven't heard, go on YouTube and type in Spice and then type in Erica Minna and listen to how Spice cussed out Erica Minna. Woo, chap! It was lucky that I didn't have my lace front off, because I would have had to take it off and fan myself, darling dear. She cussed out her quati. Asked her, why don't you have the same energy for your first child? You're only cussing out Safari when you knew Safari was scandalous and skullduggerous, when you knew Safari had a girlfriend and you still took him anyway. Tried to even run game on Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, the queen of rap. What's the matter with these people? Right? The same Erica Minaj that was cheating with, what's his name? DJ Envy. Right? She knew he was married, but she didn't care. It's all different when you have your own marriage. When you go and do the dirty on someone else. And when you have your own marriage, you married to what? The Prince of Darkness, darling dear. They show you what cheating really means. Erica Minna was on the chat with the vein beating in her forehead. It was like a lightning strike on her forehead after she got the Safari treatment, mate. And it was straight. Fist bump. Yeah. Spice cuss her out, mate. Spice cuss her out. Right? The Shade Room's got nearly 250,000 people's watched it already. Everybody's seen it. And now you're going to see it because I've just told you about it, Bestie. Go and watch it. Like I was saying about these family members, darling dears. Yeah. Investigations are being launched. I told you, all they do is watch what you're doing. Captive audience. It's on at 18. 18 is what? The moon energy, darling dears. They're in their feelings, blood. Because every time they see you or go on your social media or they hear about you, darling dear, they're illuminated to your greatness. Mercury energy, darling dear. Because Continue to hold down your rational mind, darling dear. Understand that you are the professor of the puzzle. You've got the communication skills, the speaking, the listening, the writing, darling dear. The Mercury energy also speaks about a short journey, darling dear. Some of you are going to be traveling. It also speaks about Mercury covers oh, come on, think, Case. Think. Mercury covers Gemini energy, okay? Lean in, big cat. Gemini is about your siblings, right? Listen, Gemini covers your siblings, right? Your neighbors and distant relatives. So we've got cousins coming in the mix, darling dear. Aunts and uncles as well. That they all wishing badness on you. They all wish badness on you, right? But in juxtaposed to what the third house is the ninth house, right? Your expanded perception, right? The faith that you had, darling dear. And it also speaks about long distance travel. Listen, you're going to be moving, darling dear. Some of you physically moving, and others you'll be packing a bag and catching a flight. Let them sit in their feelings. Let them sit in their feelings. They are nothing but high commander Decepticons, right? Son or daughter of Pennywise the Clown. What? Look, what's happening there? What did I say? Lying out of their gingivitis slash they dare call a mouth. Merchants of slander, Jeremiah 9:40. They need to talk about their own slimy, feeble lives, especially the life they're leading ever since they went past the sign that says you can't F off past this point. And how did they get past that sign? On a spiritual short bus, right? All whilst you're going into your jackpot season, darling dear. The 8-8 speaks about the higher calling that was on your life. The higher calling that pushed you to have what? Self-awareness, right? And reverence for the life that you still have. Why? Because you can continue to sock it to them. Be the example for your progeny and the family that you co-create, darling dear. Just because they come with blood, darling dear, doesn't make them family. Sometimes the realest family that you will have on this Malkuth is real, complete strangers. Strangers supported me better than anyone that I've known from birth. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Because the knowledge that I have, that I acquired, because I was always a bookworm, I would have gone to my grave with it if it wasn't for YouTube. It would have been rattling around in my head. And I thank you. I thank you. And I love all of you guys, because if it wasn't for you, I would have no one to share my intel with. So there, right? Allow my eye chakras, right? So I'm going to go now. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings, toddle over to my Patreon, or simply come back here. Or take the hop, skip and jump to my TikToks, where I also upload videos. I also have a new channel, Big Cat Astrology. My first video is a little bit shaky, but I'm getting it together because I'm used to being on camera, but not with you staring dead into my eye chakras. So I'm getting it together, right? And I'll be uploading more astrological videos, so that if you want to get a grasp on astrology, come to my Big Cat Astrology channel. I'll be uploading sometime over the weekend. So subscribe, darling dear, and get clued in. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. As I said, darling dears, family members are and will be your biggest haters. Give them something to work with, Big Cat. Yes. Big Cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat.